All right, my boys, good morning. It's Monday. It is June the 1st, and we are here back at it again. Looking back, you guys are actually here with me today, and I'm talking to you like you're not here, but you're here. You're kind of doing your own thing. I didn't pull you off of what you're doing, and talking away and do this in a way so that it's not just about now, it's for later, and maybe even for anybody else that may lean in and listen. But anyway, we're here, and you're here with me, and we're going to get into the Word today. It seems that we have, or not we, but me, I have not read since the 22nd, and that's several days. Maybe that's the longest that I have went. I said I haven't read, at least doing this Bible study. So what's dangerous, and I think dangerous is a fair word, is that one day turns into two, and two turns into three, and before you know it, I've went a week and I haven't read, or close to it, and then a week turns into a month, and so on and so forth. We know how this goes. Then it turns into a year, and then 2 years, and then just not devoted outside of just a little bit of a sprinkling. And even last night, it popped in my head. I wanted to get into my Geneva Bible, and I didn't. I don't know why. I just didn't do that. But I let the enemy, or I let myself get in the way. The enemy gets in the way, and robs me of this or pushes me down there. And why don't I just do it? Cling to the Word. It is so important, and I think it is a measure of our faith. It is not it alone. It is nothing that we do, right? I can't say that enough. But a measure is to have a desire for the Word, and to have an obedience to wanting to read, and a desire to be obedient. All these things, and part of that again is consuming the Word of God. Let it change me. I pray it changes me. I pray it changes you. There are many times, many situations that I don't necessarily understand or struggle with, and I pray for a better understanding. I pray for the right understanding. And if I'm more centered on that, then I pray for that other person to have a better understanding. So I always start with me. If I struggle with the situation and I'm misplaced, even with you all, I get impatient at times. Sometimes I don't think you all listen very well, and I love you all very much. And I talk with different parents about that, and we never want to overreact. That's some of Mimi's words, and I agree. But sometimes I've asked you to do this a few times, and finally this is here. Then my energy's gotten higher, and so I say all that to say, I pray for a better perception. I pray for a better understanding. I pray for a better perception, one with God. I pray that He's changing my heart constantly. Pray I'm not fooling myself. Pray I'm not fooling anybody else, that I have a heart for the Word. I pray a heart for obedience, that we are chasing heaven. We are not about this world. But again, I pray to be more centered. And I wrote that paper last year. I say I wrote it. I built the paper. And, the only absolute truth that there is God. No two people have the same perception. No two people, no person has it absolutely right. Because we have all walked a different walk. We are all taking different steps. Nobody knows the absolute truth. Now, we can get really close. Is there one apple on the table? Is there two? That is very concrete. I get it. But there are so many things that are subjective. And again, I know I'm talking a lot. But, I pray to be more centered on the truth. I'm not trying to be right. And so let me have a heart that is more centered on God, and that's the thing about, just like Bible school. We had Bible school over the weekend. Love God, love others. It is through love, in love, that we have more understanding, that we have more patience, that we can be more centered. Sometimes, man, we thought we had it right. We'll die on that hill. I am right. I know this is 100% true, and then it turns out that maybe we were not right. My perception was slightly off. I'm sorry. You had a better view of it than I did. Your numbers were more close to accurate than mine, and that's with me as your parents. That's me as a son. That's me as the neighbor, and vice versa. That goes both ways. Sometimes you all have it slightly better or right than I do, and vice versa, or any two people. So that's a long way of saying I want to be in the Word. I want to be more Christ-centered, and in that we can move to a better understanding. It's just all of it's way better, right? And certainly going all the way back to maybe how I was starting this talk, don't let 2 days turn into 3 and 3 into 7 and then so on and so forth. Be devoted. It only takes a little bit of time. I know I've been rambling here for 5 minutes, almost 6, and I haven't even got into the Word, but it doesn't take long, especially the New Testament books. They're pretty short. You can read one in probably 5 to 7 minutes typically. And most of the Old Testament chapters, I said books, you can do that as well. So anyway, I want to get into the Word here today. I want to get back to being devoted. Again, you guys are here. And whether you're exactly leaning in right now in this moment, it's okay. Whenever we get done and we get into our regular summer routine, we'll be at the table, we'll be at breakfast, and we'll get into it. And I'll have you all to do that. But for today, 1 Peter chapter 4, looking back at chapter 3, seeing what all I have highlighted, if anything. Chapter 3, we see godly living. I listen to a lot of guys talk on different social media, and it was Ephesians chapter, I don't know what chapter today, but it's nothing that we've done that we've gained salvation. But now there's a true conversion and there's not a true conversion, and I firmly believe that, but it is all about Him. It is not about works, but we know that faith without works is dead. So it is all about Him, and whenever we are truly chasing that, we are going to chase godly living. Chapter 3, I was looking for highlighted stuff. I'm not really going to go back into that. Something that I had. Baptism now saves you. That was in 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 21. Corresponding to that, baptism now saves you, not the removal of dirt from the flesh, but an appeal to God for a good conscience. So this is not, even here, it's not talking about the outward baptism. This is talking about the circumcised heart, which is truly receiving God, truly receiving Jesus Christ. So, I have rambled on here, not even read for almost 8 minutes, and so very short chapter, and maybe I ramble some more, so be patient with me. Maybe I can get the most of it, maybe you guys can get the most of it. And so here we go. 1 Peter chapter 4. Keep fervent in your love. What was Bible school's message? Love God, love others. That is the great commandment, to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the second is likewise to love thy neighbor as thyself. Bible school is good. What a great message. And here in 1 Peter chapter 4, keep fervent in your love. It reads, therefore, since Christ has suffered in the flesh. Cliff talked about that a lot Sunday and weeks past. If Jesus suffered, we're going to suffer too. He is the example. I'm not saying that we have to die on the cross like He did, but there is going to be attacks from this fallen world. This is facts. Christ has suffered in the flesh. Arm yourselves also with the same purpose, because He who has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, dying to self. And again, that was Sunday's message. We read that. We saw that. Dying to ourselves, suffering in the flesh, pushing back from what this flesh craves. Smell good, taste good, feels good. Go do you, live your best life. He who has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, so as to live the rest of the time in the flesh, no longer for the lusts of men, but for the will of God. So it's saying we do not chase after our desires, our lusts as people, but to chase after the will of God. For the time already past is sufficient for you to have carried out the desire of the Gentiles, having pursued a course of sensuality, lusts, drunkenness, carousing, drinking parties, and abominable idolatries. In all this, they are surprised that you do not run with them into the same excess of dissipation, and they malign you. But they will give account to Him who is already judged the living and the dead. For the gospel has this purpose, been preached even to those who are dead, that though they are judged in the flesh as men, they may live in the Spirit according to the will of God.